And we are live talking
Are
about
we? Oh
water.
my god, we are
Yes,
live. Hello.
we are live. Our favorite topic, water.
The
Question of the
Centuries.
return,
day.
the return of our mascot. Hello, she is sat with me. She's purring. She's very
Aww.
happy.
She looks very sweet.
She's very tired.
I've just learned that Sheffield apparently has the best tasting tap water,
I
but Sarah and
disagree.
Lois said no.
I think our tap water's better down here than
Then
Sheffield tap
Sheffield's.
water. Yeah.
Oh
I
god,
think we will start a poll.
It smells like chlorine to me, but
I I just don't drink tap water here because I know there was like a problem with it a while ago.
yeah, I get that.
And Kent, I was in Kent for a bit. I don't like their tap water. Like, no offense to the people of Kent, but so I just don't drink tap water.
What is she doing? She's reaching down. Aww.
Yeah, she's stretching. She's being a little baby. Don't eat me.
Cute. So today I am drinking, in honor of Japan, a sake jasmine jasmine tea martini. That's it. It's sake, it's vodka, it's jasmine tea, and a decorative cucumber which is falling apart because it's been standing here for quite a bit.
It's
It
like all
looks
of us.
nice though.
Is it nice?
It is very nice, yes.
No.
And it
I
looks
like
nice.
I like the cucumber decoration.
Thank you. I was trying my best. It looked amazing 10 minutes ago, but now not so much. And it still has to last a couple, like an hour. So,
Oh, you'll be fine.
Hello.
thank you, Evelyn.
Evelyn's here.
We need a couple more live streams. I can't release a book out of 4 drinks. And last week I was drinking cider. I don't think people need to know the recipe for that.
You never know.
You
Ellie's
never
own
know.
cider.
Yeah,
Like
some people
cinnamon
might.
sprinkle around the edge or something.
There's different cider out there. I'm going to write a paragraph about all the ciders. Yeah. Thanks, Evelyn, for asking. This is my contribution to this live stream.
And fantasy, don't forget the fantasy.
And fantasy. Very true.
That's true. I do a lot of
Your
math and a
biggest
lot of drinking.
contribution.
Spoiler, regarding fantasy at the end of this video, nobody won the entire event.
No.
Nobody got everything right, which
There were a lot of surprises this week.
says a lot about the results of this competition.
Shall we start?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Do you want to do this one, Sarah?
Sure. In first place was Riku Miura and Ruchi Kihara. In second place, Emily Chan and Spencer Akira Howe. And in third place, Brooke McIntosh and Benjamin Mimar.
Everyone looks so happy. They've all got little mascots.
Put them away. Everybody looks so happy.
Everyone looks so happy, and they're gone. And they've all got their little mascots.
Also, we have to say the time zones are not ideal.
Yeah, I have not watched the entire event because NHK happens right in the middle of the night over here, and it's not really even the middle of the night because I'm up in the middle of the night. It's more like very early hours of the morning
when nobody's awake.
when I'm not awake. But I've seen bits and pieces. My cat has left, and she's getting stuck in the process of leaving, so she's now left.
Okay, bye, cat. Let's talk about. Oh, hello.
Hey, hello from Edmonton.
Oh, hello.
Thank you so much.
I would bring
for
up the
joining.
Oilers, but or the Canterbury Flames, whichever. Well,
let's talk about pairs. What can we remember from pairs?
I mean, everyone knew Riku and Ryoichi were going to win. It was a foregone conclusion. Sadly, there are only 6 pairs in this event because Zukova Bidar withdrew a week ago. As far as I'm aware, they withdrew because of the death in Zukova's family. And my condolences to her. And Hocken Kunkel had to withdraw because Annika tested positive for COVID. Like just before, I don't know if it's just before they left or when they got in. I'm not sure, but I assume just before they left. So there are only 6 pairs, which is the smallest event we've had so far for pairs in this Grand Prix. Yeah.
Everything we can remember about that.
No, I mean there's more. I can say more, but I thought I thought Sarah could chime in with some stuff.
Oh, of course, me. So yeah, I think everyone knew Riku and Ryuichi were going to win. And I'm so happy that they get like the home competition, home crowds. They have that
Yeah.
a couple times this season because of Worlds, which is going to be very, very exciting.
Yeah.
I think it's very known that Riku had a shoulder injury
Yeah,
earlier,
shoulder.
so they're sort of still working up from that. But
And big
they,
improvements from Skate Canada. Like
yes, massively. To that they now have the best pair score of the season so far. Hopefully that does go up when we get some more pairs teams competing and stuff, but very exciting.
Brooke and Ben get their first Grand Prix medal because they came fourth in Skate Canada. I
Yes.
think, if I remember correctly. Wasn't a perfect skate. She did have a fall on a throw and seemed to hurt her arm a bit, and that seemed to put them off slightly for the rest of the program. But they seem all right by the end.
Yeah, it was like the second to last element, or maybe third to last element. It was like a throw, lift, and then a spin, I think.
Yeah, they kept connected for the lift. Like usually they would he would take his hand away and just do
Yeah,
like one hand, but they kept connected for that, which I think was very smart to stay
very
safe.
smart. Yeah. I don't know if it was her shoulder. Someone said it looked like she might have
Someone said
dislocated her
shoulder, but
shoulder.
it seemed like it was like forearm, elbow kind of area to
It was
me.
like
But
here. So
yeah,
someone thought it had like dislocated.
I don't think it was that severe,
I don't know,
but
but
we don't
yeah,
know. We haven't heard.
hopefully all
It
is
being that severe.
okay. Because Nationals is coming up very soon.
Yeah, it's usually towards the end of January-ish, I
Yeah, it's
think,
like
for Canada.
mid-January, I think.
Yeah,
But time is going way too quickly, so that will
it
be
is.
here
All
before
the
you know it.
all the nationals are going to be kicking in now. All the national competitions. I know Belgium's just had theirs, but yeah, all the national competitions are going to be
Gosh.
kicking in.
Yeah.
I know
There are
New
only
Zealand
two
had
live
theirs a couple
streams.
of weeks ago.
We only
Sorry?
have 2 live streams left. We have to figure out what we do afterwards.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, we can do
Uh,
other live streams. We can do little updates and stuff.
oh gosh. Well, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, well, I mean, eventually. Not we'll think about it. It's
Yeah.
not in the plans currently.
Emily and Spencer were in second, obviously. Second, what was her? Skate Canada, I think they were. So they have,
Yeah, because they just pipped Sarah and Nicolo to second.
yeah, so they have qualified for the Grand Prix final,
Yeah, with 2 silvers.
which is very exciting. I think, I think Emily doubled. I don't know if it was like intentionally double or if Emily just doubled it because I was only watching her. Their like second jump in the free skate. But their first,
Obviously, like she had some ankle injuries in the summer, so
yeah, but their first like double Salchow, double axel was planned. Someone asked if
yeah.
it was like a triple, like meant to be a triple, but it seems planned as a double. But other than that, I think they look good. They're obviously sort of fighting to be that top US pair. I don't think they're that far off. I think
It would surprise me if the US Federation ever put Chan Hao above Niram Fraser.
I think they need to start looking at that more with.
They need to start looking at the future more because I don't think Niram Fraser are going to be going that much longer.
Yeah.
Not that we know anything, but I just don't think they will.
Yeah. So I think Emily and Spencer are definitely getting there. They need like a healthy season, a healthy off season to really be there. Because I think especially the Boston pair teams, they have such good. They're very unique. Like
yeah, they have good. I was going to say choreography, but it's not quite that. It's composition of programs. Like they have very unique order of elements.
Yes. as proven by their like twist being the third element in their free skate or something.
Which is so great. And I do think it's very interesting to me that obviously if you do singles, you get a bonus for doing like a jump like in the second half of the program. I feel like that should be kind of incorporated into pairs and dance as well. Like if you do a twist like in the second half of the program, that should get a bonus. Or if you do twizzles in the second half of the program in ice dance, that should get a bonus.
That would be it.
Just my opinion. Just my opinion. Because we always point it out when teams do things later in programs. They don't get any benefit like for doing it later.
That's true.
And it's harder.
Yeah. So we talked about the Canadian team. Emma and Riccardo of Italy. They had a back-to-back. They were at Sheffield last week. You know, Japan.
Great result for them, considering the back-to-back.
Yeah, incredible result. I think they are sort of growing with each competition. You can definitely tell that.
Yeah, I think they're a team that very much like thrives on a public audience, like watching them, like it's giving them motivation to improve and do better.
And with the Italian pairs field being as it is, and
it's so like crowded and amazing to watch this year. I cannot wait to see what the results are at nationals. I think they usually have theirs in December.
Yeah, I think it's.
Don't know about the date. I can have a look because I see if I can find it.
But yeah, I think Italian pairs are like really good at the moment. Italian nationals is December 15th.
So mid, yeah.
18th. So yeah, I think like the bulk of nationals happen in like the same weekend.
Yeah, there's a lot that all kind of cram together. It's very interesting.
Yeah. Anyone have anything else
French,
to say on
French
pairs?
nationals, 4 nationals, which is obviously a combination of Czech, Hungarian, Polish, and Slovakia, and then Bulgarian and Spanish and Finnish and Estonian all around the same time.
Yeah,
I'm just in love with the mascot. I like the mascot. I want one. It's so cute.
They're so cute.
What was the name again?
Domokan, I think it's Domokan.
It's the marketing is working great for me. I want one.
It's great. I think the Kovalevs were very disappointed to come 5th.
I think coming off like a silver medal, I see that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Obviously, they would have had hopes of potentially getting to the final, and that's pretty much not going to happen now. So yeah, but I mean, it's still incredible what they have managed to achieve in the last couple of seasons, because they've just kind of, it's not that they've come out of nowhere, but they're a team that because oftentimes I look at teams that are kind of new and I think, oh, this team has potential to get to like this place in a couple of years. They're not a team I saw that were in my vision of like achieving this much. So it's good to see how much they've grown.
I would like to have heard their opinion after the skate, because Sarah also did not get into media. Do you want to talk about this?
I mean, I applied for media. They said I got approved, and then
the problem is that they put another like link in to submit.
There was another layer to it.
That happened like while you were at Sheffield. Like that was like coming out like that link was like coming out while you were at Sheffield, and the deadline was like just after we finished Sheffield, so you missed it entirely.
And Sarah was waiting a lot in waiting rooms.
Sarah was waiting in the waiting room to be like let into the Zoom, and they just weren't letting her in.
Yeah, not like there was only one other person in there, but it's fine. I'm chill. I'm not keeping note of anything at all.
No.
You live and you learn.
Yeah.
Should be there next year.
There are some federations now we are watching closely.
Oh my god, I could. Yeah, we won't be talking about that.
No, we love them all.
They are noted down in my book.
We may love them all, but we may like Skate Canada a little bit more.
We have favorites. We can say our favorites.
Some of them are better communicators than others.
Some of them have virtual media, which is great. Oh,
Yeah. Anyway, Skate Canada, I love you. British ice
On a first
skating,
name
I love
basis,
you.
on a first
hello,
name basis
Elli.
with the woman who runs the social media for Skate Canada.
Yeah.
Ah,
Oh my god. I'm
Oh,
gonna
funny.
try. But only if
Also,
federations have virtual media, because I can't go anywhere.
yeah.
yeah.
Also, shout out to Dario and Michelle, who finally had their Grand Prix debut after
Yes.
not being able to go to Skate America because of visa issues. Also,
Mhm.
they have to do a back-to-back next week, so I feel for them having to like go straight from Japan to Finland for that.
And they're now going to be up against their domestic
Yes,
rivals.
they're now going to be up against their domestic rivals because
Oh, sorry.
Osipova, Epstein are doing Espo as well.
Yeah.
They've actually improved a lot. Their scores this year have Osipova, Epstein, so that's going to be interesting. So have Dario and Michelle. They've made improvements as well, so it's going to be a
Yeah.
nice little fight.
It's going to be fun to watch.
In terms of like the field next week, the pairs field is going to be really interesting because there's a lot more kind of room for movement, less predictability of where everyone is going to finish.
I have to pull up a list now to see who this there.
I assume.
We were talking about this at the end.
Yeah, I assume
Yeah,
the
that's
fight
true.
will. I assume the fight will be between Galati Ambrosini and Parkman Metalkina, but it's going to be interesting.
We'll get to that. We'll get
We
to
can
that.
get to that at the end.
Yeah.
For people who want to know who to vote for in fantasy, we will talk about that at the end.
I
And I
haven't
think
got my
we should
list
talk
yet,
about,
but we can make it up.
let's talk about women now, shall we?
Let's go, girls. In first place, we have Yelim Kim. In second place, Kaori Sakamoto. And in third place, Rion Sumiyoshi.
Sumiyoshi.
I did that last time. I know I paused last time.
You'll get used to her. She's first year
Yeah.
as a senior.
I always like read the name and like pause, and I'm like, oh, I shouldn't be doing that.
We'll say now that very few people picked Yelim to win fantasy this week.
Even the
no
person
slight-
with Yelim in their name.
Even the person with Yelim in their name did not pick Yelim to win fantasy this week.
That was very funny to see.
However, things may have been slightly different had any of us known beforehand that Kaori was ill off the back of Skate America.
Yeah.
Which nobody knew, because I don't think she said it. I don't remember if she said it after the short or after the free. But
After the free, I think.
After the free, yeah. So she was ill after Skate America, so obviously that hampered her. I don't know whether it hampered her stamina or her training or what, but I mean, obviously she wasn't.
I think she was off for a week after Skate America. She took off, if I read that right.
So many illnesses this year. So many illnesses just
know.
traveling around the Grand Prix this year.
And it's like cold and flu season as well.
I know. All the credit to Yelim. She is a gorgeous skater, and I'm so happy that she's finally getting the praise she deserves. Her programs this year are absolutely stunning. And as Sarah tweeted out in the middle of the night when I was asleep, she is the first Korean skater to win a Grand Prix since Yoona Kim in 2009.
You don't know the anxiety that went behind that tweet. I checked it.
I might have added
I
might have added like senior to your tweet, but otherwise it was fine.
Do you know what? I debated doing that, and then I was like, no, I feel like that might be a bit obvious because we always specify junior, but we never specify senior stuff.
Exactly.
And then thought about it a bit more, and then was like, you know what, stuff
just
it.
go
I'm
with
press
it. Yeah.
send.
If anyone's going to be pedantic over it, they're just being annoying because obviously we know the like a lot of Korean juniors have won junior Grand Prix medals. And
Ooh,
you know,
do you think my Yelim or Luna could beat Kaori at Grand Prix final? Oh
yes. Luna is the most obvious option because
she
obviously her score is very close to Kaori's best score this year. So is Mai's actually. This score here is not indicative of peak Kaori. So unless she's still suffering like this, or if anyone else is suffering with anything, I don't think Yelim would do it unless somebody is suffering, because her best score is not edging towards the mid/near 20 to near 220 score ish.
So Kaori's top scores from this season. Kaori is 217, Mai's 217, Luna's 216, Yalim is 213.
Yeah.
So it could
But-
be an on the day like moment.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It
Where
could be a
was-
judging panel.
Where was Yelim's 213 from? Was that a challenger?
That was from Finlandia.
Yeah,
Isabeau's
see, I
above her
don't
at
give that as
215.
much of a boost because this was like 204, I think.
Mm-hmm.
This was a bit lower. Although winning a Grand Prix will boost her PCS, and it should, because she gets robbed. So she may be closer than it appears right now, but she may be closer.
I keep closing the tabs I need open.
I don't
I'm
know
not
about
doing well.
injury. It might just be that she was ill. I do think it's been not as hard for her as say like Niram Fraser or Chocken Bates to reset after the last season, but I think it's an adjustment to have such a strenuous season and then get back into that mindset of competing again.
Also, a moment for Ted on the commentary being like, she's not used to coming in second.
Yeah, she is a lot.
Have you like
Sarah's
forgotten
offended.
her entire career?
Ted spends too much time doing junior events. Kaori, didn't she come second last year at NHK, or was she not at NHK? I can't remember. I know
Oh,
Mana
gosh.
won. Mana won.
She was. Oh, I looked
sure
this up
Mana won.
earlier.
Amy is also pissed.
As we
Amy,
should be.
Amy, you're with us. We're with you.
Let me find it to get
like,
it right.
Trust me, like Kaori coming third at the Olympics was a massive deal.
Exactly. She won NHK 2021 and she won NHK 2020, and that was it from before this season. That's before she became world champion. Like,
yeah,
at Full
like
Confidence
Kaori's
2018.
amazing, but it's kind of like the Mai effect of like, how is Mai always eternally fourth when Mai is one of the most angelic skaters on the circuit? So yeah, Kaori won NHK. I knew Mana did well. Did Mana come second? Mana came second.
Oh,
She was on the
I just
podium.
have her results up.
I know Mana was on the podium because she got the 3A last year.
I can check.
I
Give me
remember
one second.
NHK was a mess because that was the Daria competition, wasn't it?
Yeah, Mana was second.
Yeah, that was the Daria competition.
Yes. Oh God, it was.
That was the Daria competition. If anyone doesn't remember the Daria competition, it was Daria in, I think it was the warm up, messed up her hip entirely and had to be carried off. And
carried.
Was never seen again.
But yeah, so Ted saying that annoyed me because I was like, have you looked at her career before she became world champion? Like,
also, like, they meant the point made at like Scam that was the first time she'd won Scam after like 6 appearances.
Exactly.
Like,
she was silver medal twice and then won it, and it was like, finally.
Like, not to get into the Russia of it all, I don't think we'll ever see Daria compete again.
Amy, you have a very good memory.
Yeah,
yes.
I knew Mana was on the podium, and I didn't remember which placement she had. I just remember she landed the 3A.
What? Oh, my laptop made a noise.
That was my laptop.
Oh, was it yours? I thought it was mine.
Oh, was it? I knew it wasn't mine because that's not really a noise that mine makes.
No, I thought I'd done something. No, because what's happening? Is it Men in Black the movie when they have the thing that like so that's me after every competition. I will completely forget everything that happened. Except
I think
maybe
it's funny that Sarah referenced the movie because she doesn't watch movies, but yes.
Agreed, okay. James. I will agree with you, James. I really want her to win next week. I love Luna, but I need my hype train to continue.
I think that's going to make for a very interesting Grand Prix final.
Oh yeah. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen next week. You never know. Something drastic could happen.
No.
You never know. Ice is slippy.
Yeah.
Amy also said this earlier.
Yeah. It's going to be a great matchup.
Yeah.
One of the most intense matchups of the Grand Prix, actually. I know this was a big competition regarding so many medalists, but that's very evenly scored. Like that, it's going to be very interesting and very, very different skaters and programs. Like they couldn't be more different.
So I
Yeah,
was thinking.
I can't even think of like because there's no sort of specific home advantage
Oh
like
yeah,
Yes.
with
no, not.
Finland. Like
I
there's no
guess.
sort of instant connection.
I guess maybe Adam
They
Sawyer
do.
works more in Europe, so maybe that.
Maybe I think it should be a fairly even
Yeah,
fight.
yeah.
And it's going to be a very fun one to watch.
Oh yeah, for sure. Do we have anything more to say? Amber tried the 3A again. She got close.
She
It was
stood up.
two-footed. She stood
Didn't
up,
she
which
post
is
a picture of that or something?
Yeah, of the
It's
like
very cute.
protocol screen. She stood up, which is a start.
and it was rotated. It was called rotated.
Yes.
So we're getting closer.
Um,
Rion
Olga.
again with another podium. Credit to Rion. She's done better than I expected her to do this year because I know she's been quite inconsistent in the past. And I know she's trying the quad and everything. I don't think she's not ratified it yet.
Oh, she had a hard fall on that.
Yeah, she had quite a hard one in France as well. Like the fact that she's able to recover from that so well and carry on with the rest of the program.
And then she had a fall in the second half of the program, and like both of them, I was like, ow, like physically, like ouch. It looked painful.
Yeah.
I was thinking my schools should have some room to go up from Sheffield, especially her short program, because Luna went pretty much clean in France. So if both go clean, it's going to be very close. Oh, that's true.
It is. It's very, very close. Yeah, because I think Mai had like a little issue on like a flip or something in the short in Sheffield.
Possibly.
Like a little thing. It wasn't a big thing.
If you improv, I can go back and look.
It's fine. It's not that important. And obviously Luna's presentation or performance wasn't peak in France because she was overthinking a bit, but they kind of scored her as if it was perfect anyway. So we'll see what it's like when it gets there.
Yeah. Which comment are we going with next?
Amy's is great.
I just thought this was cute.
A woman on the front row jumped and grabbed her friend's arm on Rion's second floor. That was so relatable. That would have been me. I feel like that person was me.
Watching it at home just is very lonely. It's like
it's funny because like Rion's results this year is kind of what I expected Reno's results to be this year, because I thought Reno was going to be a dark horse, but obviously she was ill. It's funny because like obviously their names are pretty similar. So yeah, it's also, please, whoever does it, can you stop putting Seong-ji and Seong-wi in the same competitions every single time? They are always in the same competitions.
Every time I do fantasy, it's like,
am I spelling this right? Is this right? Like they are always in the same competitions. It's really, really crazy.
Luna did have little mistakes, especially in the short. She also didn't perform the short as good as she could have.
Yeah,
yes. I remember that. Like a lot of people saying they felt.
I remember Mark brought it up as well. Like she was overthinking things. She was overthinking things.
But I think it will again come down to the day.
Yeah. Speaking of Mark, I missed his commentary.
Yeah. Although I'm glad he didn't have to do those hours.
Oh my god.
Although I think 10 hours would probably be worse by the end of it.
She's talking at the same time.
I was gonna say Ted's hours are probably even worse because he's got like he's 8 hours from us, so he was like by the time men were finishing, it would have been like 4 a.m. or something.
That's not that bad.
He might watch this, Evelyn.
Just
he tends to like some of our things about these. He might watch this.
I'm not liking the increase.
Yeah, I think that's.
I've seen a lot about that.
Issues. I get. It's extremely annoying, and I hate it. But it's policy for a reason. I think it's like somebody brought it up. Because I don't think it is technically to do with like the lawsuit and everything that was the problem with Nero and Fraser that was caused. Because it's been going on way longer than that. It's a tradition. I think it's to do with music copyright on YouTube. and how you have
Oh.
to transform content, like you have to commentate on it, or you have to, you know, parody it or whatever. You have to have like a list of different things that you do with content.
I'll be interested to see how that changes for the Junior Grand Prix next year, because Ted never normally talks
No,
during
yeah, I
programs.
don't know if it's as much of an issue with the Junior Grand Prix. I don't know why. I don't know if that's just because there's other, like, it's more intense, like, broadcasting rights with the senior one, maybe. But yeah.
But it makes sense.
Yeah, I
Which
think
is also
that's
interesting
part of the
how,
reason.
which is also interesting then maybe how streaming has changed that, like because of streaming. Anyway, don't get into it. But because of streaming the programs, you now have to follow different rules. As you
Yeah,
Yeah.
if we get
been able to
if we get
before.
to talk to Mark again in the future, we can ask him that.
Yes.
Yeah.
He'll know. He'll know the actual answer.
Yeah,
instead
because
of
he's
us
done the
guessing.
junior and the senior, and they don't talk on the junior, but he does have to talk on the senior.
Yeah,
But he
That's
tries
an
to
interesting
minimize it
question
as
to
much as he
ask.
can.
yeah. Anyone else in the women? Oh, I wanted to say, Olga Mikutina looked good this week. She hasn't
Oh,
had the
good.
best, or
Last
better
couple of
than like,
years.
yeah, better than the past couple of competitions, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just
I
wanted
know
to
she
give
had a
her a
knee
little
injury
shout out.
last summer, and
Mhm.
it's just been a long journey for her to get, like, trying to, like, get back up to the form she was when she was at Worlds a couple of years ago.
Yeah. I don't know if we have anything else to say on the women. Oh,
No,
are
I
we
think we're
moving
good.
on to my favorite moment of the event?
The ice dance.
The ice
In gold, we have Lawrence Fournier-Boudry and Nikolai Sorensen. In silver, we have Madison Chock and Evan Bates. And in bronze, we have Caroline Green and Michael Parsons.
Whoop, whoop.
Which I'm pretty sure nobody expected.
No, according to fantasy, nobody did.
No, exactly. Like, also, I want to, like, I forgot about this when we were arranging, like, tweets and stuff for our little presentation part. The fact that I think it was the official ISU account
Oh my god, that.
called
Yeah.
Chock and Bates like a shock that the fan favorites didn't win.
No. Okay.
Lolo
no.
and Nick are the fan favorites.
So, okay. In Lifetime, because I was watching this event live.
My
Agreed.
joy for them
Exactly.
versus my horror for my fantasy team. Same. Yeah.
Agreed. Agreed.
Yes. I think everyone would agree, because we all came into this event being like, okay, Chock and Bates are going to win this. This is like what they're being hyped for all season. And, they're sort of projected to win Worlds or whatever, or they were.
They were.
This will throw some things out now.
The thing that's the most shocking to me is that they barely held on to that first place at Skate America. And they shouldn't have, to be honest. It should have been Hawaii and Baker. But they did lose an element there, so that negatively affected the scores. They didn't lose an element here.
But
just Lolo
they
and Nick
also decided to rework their program, their free dance, which, I mean,
I did watch it
doesn't look like
an hour
works.
ago. I kind of like the changes and I kind of don't, but I didn't love the program to begin with. I thought, because I know they've changed it kind of from the generic kind of love story thing. They've made it more about fire and air. I think that was the quote I saw. It was like the new concept is that, like, she's fire and he's air or something. And I thought that concept came through in like the first half, and then I just got bored in the second half. It's not delivering. Whether it's not delivering what they want it to deliver, or if it's just not. It reminds me of the season of Maddie and Zach doing Romeo and Juliet. It doesn't matter how many times you change it, it's not working.
I think it's one of those programs that could be played to most generic music, and it would probably, in a sense, work. Like, for me, it doesn't have the same effect. And they're different themes and different styles of programs, but when you watch Lawrence and Nick's program, you're like invested in different moments. They have that little fur Elise, just like 3 seconds randomly of it during it, but you're like interested in the whole thing.
And it's a style that they have thrived in before, Lolo and Nick. Like, I still prefer Spanish Caravan to the free dance they're doing now, but it is a style that they have almost perfected. So it works. Like, they know what they're doing. And I think Choc and Bates are floundering a little bit because they have been doing such heavy narrative-based programs for the last few seasons that they kind of have gotten too comfortable playing up to big narratives like that.
And
So
like
when
this
they
is
went
the
more
season for them to do something else.
yeah, but they see they kind of went, we're doing something more generic this year. We're doing like a love story. Okay, but it's not going anywhere. The program doesn't go anywhere. It just kind
Also,
of
a weird love
peters
story.
out. And yeah, and they've changed it now to be more like fire and air or whatever. And I kind of get that, but again, it still doesn't. It's the second half just doesn't deliver. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I agree with that, Evelyn. I mean, also they're finally kind of getting docked for those errors now. Like Maddie made an error on the Twizzles in the free dance. They're still obviously getting forgiving results, but not so forgiving that they are going to get a guaranteed win now.
Can we talk about Evans lifting the rhythm dance?
Lifting the rhythm dance. That terrified me because, especially with the playing on my mind of Celine Mezing, who is the Estonian ice dancer who moved to IAM with her partner this summer. She had an accident in training. She obviously hit her head on the ice. She had to have emergency surgery. There's a massive scar across half of her head, and she's posting like updates of her recovery. And we know Hawaii had a concussion from training last year.
We know.
I don't want Maddie to end up with her head smashed on the ice because Evan cannot make it through a lift.
I think Xiu Wang as well had a concussion this season in like September.
Oh my god, another one. Jesus.
Yeah. It's a lot of them.
And that's not it's not me slagging off IAM. Obviously they have more dance teams than anyone else. So they're going to have a bigger proportion of like injuries because there's more teams. You don't necessarily hear about injuries in all the other teams. There's, some of them will have injuries and you never hear about them. They just like disappear for a while because they're in a lesser known, quieter place. I mean, Russia has so many issues that you never even learn about until somebody's retired or something. So I'm not like targeting IAM for this, but it is a concern for me that lift looked so dodgy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
agreed.
there's no like easy way to segue out of that. But we will.
We can talk about the rest of the lineup. Caroline Green and Michael Parsons earned their first Grand Prix medal.
Yes,
I think it's their
so
first
happy
Grand Prix medal.
for
I don't think they got any last year. They got fourth, obviously, at Skate Canada.
To be honest, a closer result than I would have thought to four. Fourth was Alison Reed and Saulis.
I was pleasantly surprised that they got fourth because I didn't expect that. Obviously, you can tell by the fact that I had them in Group 3 on Fantasy, not Group 2, which was the massive group of death with 4 teams in it. Obviously, Loparova, Bristol don't get the French boost here, so they're dropped a little bit. Muramoto Takahashi are still having some issues with their levels at bigger competitions, which are not as forgiving as, say, Dennis 10 Memorial.
Another fun TED moment. He said that their skating skills weren't up to par with the top teams in the world, which I thought was very amusing. Personally,
one of their best things are their skating skills.
Yeah. And also, maybe the top teams in the
It's-
world don't have the best skating skills either.
Yeah, that's very true. One of
Whoa.
them, one, yeah, that's
Drink that
tea.
tea. Drink that tea.
That's tea. That is tea. Yeah, I mean, I also really, I'm still under the mystery of I don't know why Reed and Brulovikias withdrew from Skate America. I still want to know why they only did one Grand Prix. Because they've had such a great result here, and they could have potentially been one of the alternates for the Grand Prix final.
I don't think anyone ever asked them, but I think we just assumed and settled on visa issues.
Maybe, yeah, that might be the issue. Yeah, I just wish we knew for sure.
Yeah,
I mean,
he did.
Ted is not as knowledgeable about the entire field and does not do the research that Mark does.
Wait, he said something else that's funny. Let me find it. I think Amy tweeted it.
Like, he'll come out with tons of anecdotes about the Canadian skaters. Everything else knowledgeable is a little bit lacking.
So,
he is
while
the head of
Sarah's
BC.
looking, who else can we talk about?
I'm very proud that Oriharu Pirinen and the Murderous Mermaid / Siren, it's just funny to do alliteration, came 8th. So they got world points from their first Grand Prix. And obviously they're doing back-to-backs because they're doing Finland next week at home. So great for them. Love them.
Found my tweet. Ted said, for those of you who are not dance experts, which is pretty much everyone, I was
And
like,
you, yeah.
okay, speak for yourself.
I mean,
Some of us
Ted is the one who is not a dance expert. I mean, he's the one who has to rely on Mark at the Junior Grand Prix to talk about the ice dance.
Then he started talking about like how the technical panel marks elements, what elements are. I'm like, yeah, we know that. Like, that is one of the easiest things to learn.
Yeah. Also, like back to like Kanadai, like as we've established, skating skills is their thing because obviously he was a very proficient single skater. Like the first thing that they got a hold of when they started their ice dance partnership was the step sequences because that's what he knew how to do. It's the specific ice dance things like lift levels or spin levels or stuff like that, which is their downfall because he has not got a long history of knowing how to achieve the levels in those elements.
Mm-hmm.
And in terms of Marina, she does not have as many teams as she used to do, and the rules have changed significantly since she was the top coach. So she is maybe not as aware about level issues as a team like I Am or Barbara or
Other people.
Not the Russians, because they screw up their levels all the time. Because they just make their own set of rules.
In last place in ice dance was Katerina Wolf-Kostin and Jeffrey Chen, who Katerina in the free dance messed up her, I think, second twizzle. And then Jeffrey had a fall coming out of a lift. I think it was a lift.
There is no personal offense on this team. I just don't get the boosting that the US Federation have put on them. They should have stayed junior for another year, without a doubt. Especially, and they've changed coaching teams as well. I don't think that free dance fits them. I think it was a good attempt to do something out of the box and do something different, but I don't think it's not allowed them to thrive. It's just, it doesn't feel right for them. And there are so many mistakes that keep happening in different ways, in the same ways, from one competition to the next. A lot of falls, lift errors, twizzle errors. I don't even see it as being a coaching issue because they've changed coaching teams and the issues are still there. I don't get it. I don't.
Yeah, I think.
See, I disagree when it comes to the Browns because I think there's a curse if you stay junior after you've won junior worlds.
Yeah. I mean, they for sure weren't expecting to move up until they won Junior Worlds, and then they were like,
Mhm.
we have to move up type thing.
And it's getting better. When they did Sheffield, there was the remarkable score improvement. So hopefully that same thing will happen at Espoo next week. They
Yeah.
are getting more comfortable with the senior circuit. But I don't see that. I don't see the future for Wolfchen. I mean,
Did they lucked into Junior Worlds?
I mean, had the Russians been there, would they have won? Not necessarily. Because it probably would have been, sadly to say, either Kavranina Sirisano or Kagapol.
I'm so glad you knew their names, because in my mind I was going piano team.
Piano team. They are piano team to us. Kavranina Sirisano. Or Kagapol. But I'm not a fan of Kavranina Sirisano, so I was very happy they weren't there. So sort of looking in, but it's sort of not, because statistically, I think I would have assumed going into that event that maybe Nat and Bruce would have had the edge over the Browns. And
I
that's not how it
agree.
ended up. And that's not how it ended up.
I think we were all a bit shocked with the Browns True Dance score. I'm not gonna
But
lie.
pleasantly shocked, because we've been a fan of them for so long.
I think
But you
the
see,
plan
even if
and the
what
I
Karen is
think the
saying,
plan and the vision was Wolf Costin and Chen to win Junior Worlds. I
but I
think a lot
don't
of
think
people
they
thought
should
that
have
going
been.
in.
It's just I've never been convinced
agree.
by this team.
But I think that was the trajectory that they were on with their scoring all season.
Oh yeah. They it's not that they assumed they would win, because you never assume that. But that was their plan. Their plan was to win Junior Worlds and then go up to seniors. And they'd already been doing a couple of senior competitions last year
They
to
went
prepare
and
for
did
that
senior
move up.
nationals.
Yep, and they
So
did a
they were like
senior
ready.
they did a senior competition just in case they had a shot of going to 4 continents as well. So they went to get their minimums.
I admire the effort.
I admire the plan. I think that's a great plan. I just don't see the trajectory in the future for this team. I don't know. And the field is so thick. Like, Bratty Somerville came out of nowhere, and Ian Somerville is one of the most naturally gifted skaters in the world right now. Like, I may not have liked how previous partnerships have ended, but he is incredibly gifted as a skater.
And now you have Vadim and
Amelia, and they're doing their debut at Golden Spin, and their domestic scores are insane.
And you have Bella and Ivan coming up.
Bella and Ivan, I don't think he's got his release yet, because they're still not on the international selection pool.
But they'd be at nationals, so
yes, they will be at nationals. So the field is so deep.
Yeah.
And I've seen US figure skating try and push Wolfchen for the last couple of years. I think they latched onto them after Vadim and Avonlea split, because they were the next Igor team in line for like succession or whatever. But they just keep making mistakes, and it doesn't get better.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not convinced.
I think
it will be interesting to watch what happens.
Oh yeah, for sure.
For sure.
I think
let's
we might have to move on to men.
The chaos that is.
Did the men again?
A little bit. Some men mend. I watched all of the men, so I can talk about this one a little better.
You can read the names.
Okay, yeah. In gold we have Shoma Uno. In silver we have Sota Yamamoto, and in bronze we have John Wancha.
It will never cease to amaze me how short Shoma is.
It's so funny.
Oh, it's so funny, especially like at the side of the boards, like at the end when like Sota was stood near him. It's just hilarious. So he doesn't like visually age. Like he's is he like 24 now? I don't remember how old he is. But like Sota's younger than that. And you just like, you look at them, you're like, wait, what?
Shoma is 24, 25 next month.
Yeah.
It's just mad to me. Like, he just doesn't. He looks the same as he did when he was 16.
Yeah.
It's just insane. So Jean kind of reversed Mend, although sort of. Like, he had an unfortunate fall on the Salchow in the short, and then had an
Oh
amazing free,
gosh. He
and made
was
his way back up to bronze.
yes. He was 6th in the short program, 2nd in the free.
Yes, he had a great free, and I was so proud of him. He got both his quads, which isn't always
Yeah. The men I missed because sleep called, but I kept waking up during both the short program and free skate. Yeah, the men were yeah.
The most obvious example of the menning is probably Nika, because he had a pretty good short and then had a not good free, and took himself out of contention. But I mean, when you're an Ettore skater, what do you expect? Shoma, I mean, I think we all assumed Shoma would win this competition, even after he was second after the short. He has so much content that it would be shocking if he didn't win at this point. Because I think he had 4 quads, maybe 4 different quads. Maybe 3 or 4 different
quad
quads.
sal, quad
flip,
toe,
quad toe.
He popped the quad flip because, of course.
Yes.
It wouldn't be a men's competition without
I was shocked he got both the toes, because he tends to either fall or he usually puts a single on the end of the quad toe.
Yeah. I mean,
so I was
he
surprised
also
his toes were so good.
he landed the quad flip in the short. He fell on the quad toe combo and still got 91 in the short program.
Which is a bit extreme.
A bit?
I mean, it's one, it's NHK, 2, he's world champion, so it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, but
it is over the top, but it doesn't surprise me.
yeah.
Sota has been great this season, and I'm very proud of him. Obviously confirmed for the Grand Prix final. Been a great season for him. And I did think this was possible because his summer was so good domestically. So yeah, great for him to make the final.
I've lost
Adam did men a little. I
me.
mean, Adam, I could tell from the very beginning of his free skate that he was entirely in his own head too much, and he was overthinking everything, and it just spiraled out of control. And I felt so bad for him because I know what a perfectionist he is. But yeah, I think technically he still has a shot at the final. He's on the bubble.
He
but he outranks. I think he's got the same points as John, but he outranks John because he has a first place.
Yes. And I was trying to look at the math earlier, and then I was like, you know what? I can't do this.
Don't worry, I'll do it.
Thank you. But yeah, I know him, and he's ahead of John in the 22 points. And there's a couple of scenarios where he could get in, but honestly, it depends on what Chaos next week brings.
Exactly. I mean, we all assume Ilya will win, but
I think
Ilya
he will.
is not. I mean, we assume he will. He is not the most consistent, especially in the short program. Shun could place spoiler, yes, because Shun has bronze. So if Shun came second, he would outrank. If Shun came third and had a higher score, then that would put him on the same trajectory as Jun. Adam would outrank.
Oh gosh,
that would be
that's something I do not miss every year.
Provided Keegan doesn't win. Keegan could win. You never know.
Oh my god! Imagine.
You never know.
Imagine.
Man,
it would the power of the uncles, because Valter's there as well. So the power of the uncles.
Yes.
all stand Dr. Valter.
This is the team dads. This is
skating uncles, aka skating dads this year.
Exactly. Because Valter's kid was at his last comp. She was in the crowds.
So cute.
So I assume she's gonna be in. Imagine if she's in the kiss and cry at number
1.
one.
I would die. I love it.
That would be so cute.
Valter still does not have his world minimums, which is very sad.
Listen, so Finland. You need to home
Please,
boost your
Finland,
skater.
please. Otherwise, the last time we will see Valter will be at Finland's Europeans. Probably.
Kevin, Maurice, and Keegan all could beat Shan and knock him out of the Grand Prix final.
I mean,
Ooh.
yeah. I don't know if Morrissey is in peak form.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin is definitely not in peak form, even though he won Warsaw this week. He did not do any quads.
He won, but I
he
saw
did
a lot of
win.
people saying he shouldn't have won.
I did not watch, so I don't have.
So this is like
the eye
my
test.
Twitter timeline summed up. They think his skating is slower. Obviously, he is recovering
on his
from
way
an
back from
injury.
injury, so yeah.
But they think his PCS was too high for how
What
his
he
actual
put
performance
down.
was.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do think he outranks pretty much every skater there in PCS, but I can definitely see how he would have been overscored considering he's obviously on his way back from injury.
Yeah,
So.
I only watched the I think 2 groups of Warsaw, and yeah, Daniel popped his quad into a double Lutz, I think. So yeah,
And
that
we're
was
still only
unfortunate.
fourth.
Otherwise,
We're
yeah.
still only fourth after the short program.
But it also was a back-to-back, so like.
Yeah, because he had gone straight from Sheffield to Warsaw.
Yeah, Kevin didn't deserve to win the free skate, but he had 13.8 over Daniel in the short program. And then I thought he looked slower too. I don't think his free skate is very well done program compared to his previous years either.
I don't remember it, to be honest. Like, I haven't honestly watched it this week, but I don't remember it from like US Classic. I think that's the only other competition he did. Don't remember his free much, which isn't a good sign.
Is the short Euphoria?
I think the short's Euphoria.
Oh, I don't know his free then. I don't think I watched it. Because the only competition I watched him at was the one where he withdrew after the short. So I don't think I've seen his free yet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but
so yeah, it's
men at NHK.
Be... yes, back to NHK because we got bogged down and talking about next week.
Distracted here.
We had Kazuki Tomono also on a back-to-back.
Yeah, he did for Kazuki, who is incredibly unreliable and inconsistent. He did an alright job. I mean, fourth is pretty good. It's not going to be enough to make the final, but for Kazuki, it was pretty good.
I think he doubled his Sao cow looking at the free skate.
Yeah, there were a fair few doubles.
But do you know what? I think that would have been the decider between third and fourth.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It would have been.
Like
it was very close.
Yeah, very. I think apart from Shoma, who was like 20 points ahead or whatever, but the other.
It was close. It was whoever screwed up the least. Oh, it is Kaori's music from last season. Thank you, Karen. I remember that now. His free skate is Kaori's music from last season. Yep, I remember that now. It's Gladiator. Yep. Frangipani had a disappointing week because he could have done a lot better than he did. Which is a shame. I'm still sad that he only had one Grand Prix because he did win a Challenger. I think he should have probably got a second over some other people who have filled in for, alternate spots. But it's a shame he didn't quite put it all together here. I don't know if he's had issues since he won his Challenger. But, yeah, it's a shame. I wanted to see him thrive. I think I picked him for fantasy, which is why I'm talking about that, and I did not pick the right person for fantasy. I didn't pick the right person for fantasy in pretty much any category.
Welcome to my life.
Yes, I'm joining you.
Before you joined, Sarah, I was talking about how bad you are doing each year. I don't know how it's possible. But the only thing consistent
for somebody who knows so much about skating to do so badly at fantasy skating.
Listen, okay, I pick my favorites. I don't always get it right, but I stick to my favorites.
I think that's beautiful.
Do you though? Because I bet you pick Choc and Bates.
Okay, sometimes I go strategic and it doesn't pay off. I also pick Kaori.
I mean, so did almost everyone.
So, yeah, okay, sometimes I go strategic and it clearly doesn't work.
I agree. Frangipani's musicality is really good.
He
He had very unfortunate quads at this competition.
I need to double check that this is like the same person I'm thinking of. Give me 1 second for his. He had. Oh my god, what's the TV show called? Peaky
Peaky
Blinders.
Blinders?
He
Yes,
had
there
the
you
Peaky
go.
Blinders program last year. I really like that program. I
It
wish
was a
he
good
would have
program.
kept it for like
It
a
was a good
healthy
program.
season.
I know.
But yeah, I enjoyed that program. That was just like a
Frangipani
random one
kind
I
of
remembered.
reminds me of like a European comrade, but better. Like sometimes the jumps are incredibly messy, and sometimes they work, but sometimes they're incredibly messy. And this was a messy week. But when he gets it, it's great.
Yes, and we know he can,
Yeah.
and we've seen it before.
I mean, he's beaten John this year. That's the discrepancy
yeah.
in this competition. Like he beat John at that challenger. And the difference here was 3rd to 9th. Men are a mess. I felt bad for Tomoki because back to back for him was hard.
Oh god, yeah.
Especially when he missed like so much of the beginning of the early season due to the shoulder dislocation and everything. And yeah, it was hard for him to do a back to back. But yeah, I don't know if we've got anything else to say about men.
I think we covered all the men.
We covered all the men, yes.
On to the fantasy section.
This is my time to shine.
I can relax now. I'm done.
Well, you have to say something because
okay.
like, every week we picked our faves. My fave. My fave is scores are irrelevant.
My favorite name this week was Winjing's Running Edge because I miss her and no one's throws are as good as hers, and I miss her.
My favorite this week was cannot believe I'm doing this to myself because I was up from 3 till about actually gone 9. I just missed the men's free skate because I was like, I watched enough skating today, and then I started watching Fire Country, which recommend for anyone that wants a new TV show to watch. So yeah.
I also believe that is also like the tagline of you and fantasy skating.
That's what I want to say. Yeah,
very much so. I will be retiring from fantasy skating after this year.
No, you won't.
Doing it again.
No, you won't. No,
because I know you guys bully me into it.
Yes, we also believe in you. I think next year is going to be your year.
Next year will be better.
This year not, but next year.
Yeah, okay.
So let's start with men. 4 people picked the white team. Congratulations. Senior ice dance is a joke.
I know.
Are you telling me Conrad won a group?
He did.
I'm pretty sure I didn't pick him.
I didn't.
I normally pick him in groups. This is so rude.
I think the group was Conrad, Maurizio, and Tomoki, and Conrad finished higher than Maurizio.
Oh, I must have picked him then.
We will check it out. I will.
I think I picked Maurizio.
If you can talk for a bit about women, let's talk about women again. I'm gonna check whether.
Yeah, as we can see, the top score for women was 791, and nobody got it. Because everyone picked Kaori.
Again, even the person.
I don't think I picked any of those options. I didn't pick any one of those options. I think I picked Kaori, Amber. I don't even remember who else I picked. I picked Eva Lotta for Group 4. I have no idea. I didn't get it.
I do not retain this information. I submit it and I forget about it. Like
I make the group, so I'm supposed to remember.
And I do this and I'm supposed to remember, but I still don't.
Picked Tomoki.
Did I? Oh my god.
Oh, you poor thing. Why did you pick Tomoki on a back-to-back?
Because Neva and I were talking and we were like, Tomoki's got this.
Oh, wow.
And
then she's been a bad influence on you. I was like, at least Maurizio, is coming in fresh.
That's fine.
It's because... Okay, never mind. We'll talk about it after. Let's move on.
Pairs, which
a lot of people got pairs.
A lot of people got pairs. I did not. I think this
Sarah
is the first
found
week.
herself just now.
I think this is the first week in a long time that I did not win pairs because I picked Danilova, Sibo instead of Calder and Maglio because they were on a back-to-back and I didn't think they were going to get it.
My
There are a
back-to-back
bunch.
theory sometimes worked because I
It
won
does
this
sometimes
one.
work.
So you got a first place. I'm sorry we made fun of you earlier.
A round of applause.
Yeah, Wes. Wait.
Amy, you are in the
okay,
same
never mind.
boat as Sarah.
Yeah.
Hey,
You had belief.
it
We
happens
all
sometimes.
want to believe in Tomoki. We love Tomoki.
We do.
And on to Ice Dance, which people did get the high
Some
score.
people pick them, yeah, but not a lot.
Not a
Very
lot.
appropriately.
Most of us will have picked chocolates. Everything
did.
else I got right, though, I think. So I'm good. I'm happy with that.
And overall, nobody got the highest score. But
Nobody got the highest, obviously, because nobody got women. But yeah, well done. Congratulations to all those people who.
Well done.
Joshua sliding to the top. Still love that name. Senior Ice Dance is a joke. It is indeed.
I love
And-
that one, and then on the slide before it was like Junior Ice Dance did it better. The perfect combination of names.
That's one of the names you picked out like a few weeks back.
Did I?
I think you did as your name of the week.
You
or
had
did I pick
Junior
it?
Ice
Somebody
Dance. That
did.
was you.
It was me. It was me. I picked it.
I
last
had
year.
Need a Pina Colada. I remember that.
Yeah,
That's a great name.
That is a good
It's
one.
a great
An
name.
amazing name. I think they've been around for a while.
Yeah, Step on Me
Yes.
has as well. Been around for a
Love
few
that.
years.
So yeah, and now we go to the overall score because that's
Oh
still going on.
no!
Oh no!
I'm not
Look
there
who's
anymore.
winning.
Oh, you're
Look
well
who
surprised.
is
The
winning.
person who always wins is still winning.
No, not always. I did really bad.
I was
this
7th last week, and I'm gone now.
week. In women or overall?
Oh, overall, I was 7th. I think.
This
I
is
don't know what I
overall
am now.
women. You might
This
still
is
be in
overall
one
women.
for overall.
I don't know what I was in women before, but I know I've got everything wrong this week. So.
I mean, overall men. Overall pairs. Come on, there you are, Lois.
Hey, I'm then 6th, even though I messed up pairs this week.
Yay. It usually pays off if you stay consistent week to week. And
Yeah,
if you
exactly.
play. That's good for the overall score. Overall ice dance.
Oh,
Oh, number 1.
Lauren.
I'm missing some names that are usually in here. In
Yeah.
our chat.
I did try and remind everyone who. See, I'm gone now from the overall. I was there last week.
But look who is number
I think
one.
you.
Of course, she's still number 1.
Psst. I think you're in 14th or something. You still have
That's
a chance.
not bad. That's
No.
not bad.
It's not.
And will my 270th place be useful at all, or?
I'm gonna check your place. I would like to know it. I'm
I
gonna
would
check
like
it.
to. It'd be really funny if it's worse than that.
Oh no! Don't. Don't.
Oh,
It
it's
would be really-
182.
Hey, you're not bad. You're not bad.
I'll take it.
Should we do a
quick
preview
quick
for?
little preview? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the list.
We already
we
talked about
already
Ilya.
mentioned some stuff. Obviously Ilya is the favorite. I assume he will be. I haven't looked at the things yet, but I assume he might be in a group with Keegan and Sean. Sounds about right. Arlette is getting a Grand Prix, so that's going to be fun. Love Arlette. Dr. Valter. Yeah, it's going to be a fun week. There's a lot of people who only have like one Grand Prix are ending up at this Grand Prix. So then there's also people who are very much trying to make the final, and then just people who are trying to get good results and play spoiler to maybe people.
We see the return of Emmy Peltonen after a while with injury.
Yeah, she's done a couple of odd competitions here and there, but in terms of big stage, this is big stage. Jenny as well, I think, has had one competition recently.
Mm-hmm.
See, Finland is really interesting because last year there were a fair few of them who all had minimums, and now a lot of them have lost their minimums.
They were like on the last. It's like Una and
Jana.
Jana
just got hers recently. Are the only 2 Finnish girls who have women who have their mins.
So I mean, just looking based on names and like previous scorings, the women's podium you assume would be a mix of Luna, Mai, and Anastasia.
Probably Gubba, yeah. It could be Kawabi on a very good day, but she's not doing her triple axel anymore.
Hmm.
Um,
I think Maddie could maybe play a spoiler if she is like back to herself.
lights out, lights out. Rika, you never know. Rika had a really good, surprisingly good Skate Canada, and I did see a video yesterday or early today of her doing a triple triple.
I
In
saw that
training.
on Instagram,
I think it was a triple sal, triple toe. I think.
possibly.
Well, I mean, the flip and the luts are not great, so I probably is the sal. Brady again. Hopefully, that goes better than last time. Obviously, she hasn't had a massive amount of training time since, but
But yeah, I think
baby
those are
steps.
the top sort of 3, 4
Also,
people.
Lindsay could play spoiler in the same way that Madeline could, because Lindsay had a
Possibly.
really good score in the summer, and it's kind of not put itself together since then. So if she performed lights out, she would be up there. Like she can score over 200,
I think she
but
said at
that's
Skate
not been
Canada
happening.
she was like nervous, feeling the nerves a lot.
Yeah, she was visibly
Um,
nervous.
so hopefully that's like Grand Prix debut sort of out of her mind and she can just
Yeah,
focus on this being
and
another
like the pressure's
competition.
off now. Like you're not gonna make the final. Like it's not gonna happen. So like you got nothing to lose. Just go out there, have fun.
Looking at pairs. So
Pairs is going to be so interesting because, like I said, there's a lot of middling where
mhm.
you can't really predict where everyone's going to land.
The
I'm
last
interested. I mentioned Metalkina, Parkman, and Gilardi and Prasini. Efimova Blomma, if they are healthy again, could play spoiler.
they could, but it's going to be interesting because of the Grand Prix final spots that's on the line.
Exactly.
So obviously they can't qualify, but their
No,
placement could upset who does.
exactly. Because I mean, if Metalkina Parkman finished up there, they could easily potentially
Yeah.
get a spot. But it's the same with Gilardi and Prasini because I think they both came fourth at their last place. So a first place could get them in, but other than that, I don't know. I can't remember what the lists are like at this point. No one else there is playing spoiler for the final.
We do get to see, however, Smirnova Sinitsaya.
Yes, I mean, obviously they had to pull out their first event. I assume they just weren't ready because we saw them in their challenger and he still could not get through both
Mhm.
programs stamina wise. Obviously, he's suffered a bit with, I think, long COVID because he had COVID in early part of the year and their World Juniors were incredibly affected by that because they'd only been on the ice for like a week prior to that. I don't know
Yeah.
if they've had any other injuries besides that, but I'm rooting for them because I think they are adorable. So I'd love them to have a really good result here, going into like nationals and stuff.
My new favorite pair skater, Manuel Piazza, is here.
Oh, Manuel Piazza. If you saw our Twitter today, we had a tweet there was a reference to Formula One and the final race of Formula One and how there was a little collision and it looked like a twizzle. And we were like, synchronized twizzles, level 4 plus 5 GOE. Manuel Piazza followed us, I want to say like 2 or 3 months ago now, like early on in the season. And we noticed on his Twitter that
Maybe he's watching right now.
It'd be really
Oh
funny
my
if he was. Hi. And he followed us a while ago, and we knew that he is one of the skaters who is a fan of Formula One, much like Matteo Rizzo,
And Lois and
Jill,
Sarah.
and us, and Jill Heiner, I think, as well.
Yeah.
Jill's a fan as well. He responded to our tweet and said it was like, and they say like Endgame is the best, like
He said
crossover
Endgame
my
was the
ass.
biggest. Yeah. I
Which was so funny. And he's now one of our favourites. Also, even before that, they are an adorable young Italian pairs team. I think they've got a lot of potential.
Yes.
And they make me not hate La La Land.
But I've been trying the entire season to get a Formula One figure skating crossover reference, and I've done it in the final race of the season. As soon as I saw it, I was like, I hope someone has posted a clip of this. So yeah, that's my mission for the season has been achieved. But yeah,
Were you
I'm
stressed before today?
interested to
Because it was
see.
a final day.
sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Were you stressed because it was a final race?
I mean, no,
No,
it was all determined ages ago.
I
No,
was more.
I meant about the tweet.
Oh, the tweet.
Oh no, I was like, I'll get there one day, and then it was
And
just
then you
like
saw
the
it and you were like,
perfect collision.
So glad.
So
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how the Crawfords look because obviously they hadn't had much training time prior to Skate America. Obviously they've had a few more weeks now of training, so they did a lot better than I expected them to do at Skate America, considering they'd had so little training. So yeah, I'm interested to see how they do here. I don't expect too much out of them, but interesting to see the growth. Other than that, I think we're done with pairs.
Leah, thank you for your comment. We will get you there. We will get you higher up in your standings.
Yeah, I also highlighted a comment by Amy the other day, earlier. Not that predictability has been serving us very well either, to be fair. It's like, yeah,
True.
every
So
time something was
onto
kind of,
darts.
yeah.
Assuming Piper and Paul will win, it's the most obvious choice. However, you never know. Hawaii and Baker could continue to move up through the ranks and play spoiler.
Chaos.
It would be fun as hell.
It would be so much fun.
It would be fun as hell.
I want
Wang,
Manny Chop like reactions every week. Like that was fun.
It's so funny because it's like a reversal of what happened with Stationary Lift Base because that was a whole, oh my god, we won. And now it's like, oh my god, we lost. Wang Lu doing a back-to-back, I feel for them because obviously they haven't competed much in the last couple of years. And you said she might have had an injury earlier this summer. Tasha's back.
Global
Also,
warming.
Pirihara also doing a back-to-back. Lots of back-to-backs. Tequila Veslus will be looking for redemption from France because obviously she doesn't want to fall on the Twizzles again, and they could potentially be third.
I think it would be nice if they'd got third.
Well, I mean, they're also going to have the home boost as well.
Yeah.
But
Listen, if there's any time I'm rooting for a home boost, you get
However,
Dr. Bhutan and his minimums.
Yes. CPOM might be yeah, I was going to say CPOM might be playing spoiler for that. They might be in the running for bronze.
I'm such.
It's going to be a good battle
because
obviously
this season.
Obviously TV are going to get the home boost. But we'll see. I'm so happy Lagouche Kafa have a Grand Prix. I did want them to get the host spot at France, and they didn't. I love their programs this season. I think they thrive in this kind of like Latin style, and I think they're very inventive, and I love French ice dance. So
French. Yep.
Browns may not get as good of a result here as they got in Sheffield because it's a thick, middling field. They might get a good score, but placement wise, but we'll see. Susie's Fierce is going to be really interesting because they got dropped hard at Scam.
Oh, they did.
Hard.
Oh, I forgot. I missed their name. Whoops.
I mean, yeah, they don't mess up often. That was a rare Twizzle error.
I think it got to her a lot.
Oh yeah, because they had those hopes that they could get a bronze, and then it all kind of got unraveled.
I think it will be close between them and Carrera Ponomarenko.
Oh yeah, like I think CPOM should technically edge them out in terms of like skill. Also, I'm not a massive fan of the TV's free dance this year. I think it's a bit boring. So content-wise, I would pick CPOM, but the home boost is going to be interesting because Finlandia do love a home boost. I mean Finland, but Finlandia in general. Finlandia loves a home boost, so Finland will as well.
And you know, if there is any time to boost your skaters, it is at home competition.
Because I
I
know that,
rarely
yeah,
like a home boost, but when you are a smaller fed that doesn't
Yeah.
host competitions, I will root for you to home boost your skaters.
yeah, we still didn't get the minimums for Natasha last week though, so I'm still
I
sad.
know, I'm so annoyed at that.
And Nina didn't get
But
them this week either, so sad times. I think Kristen's the only
Yeah.
one who got them. But yeah, I think we've covered everything.
I think it's also 20 minutes over an hour.
It is.
Whoops.
We keep getting longer and longer
We
every
keep
week.
getting longer and longer. But it's nice. I'm glad people stick around and have
And here
fun
I
and
was
comment.
panicking we wouldn't be able to like fill the hour.
We can just ramble for ages.
Thanks everybody for tuning in, for commenting, for supporting us. Please subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Follow us on our social media because Twitter might die soon. Who knows?
We might have a Mastodon soon. We're working on it. We'll see how we feel
I
about
put
it.
it in the link tree, so if you want
It
to
is
join.
in our link tree now. We haven't posted anything on it.
No, we haven't. We're still trying to figure it out. But we
I
just wanted
don't.
to.
I don't like it.
Well,
Yeah,
we have no
but-
option.
Also, if Twitter dies, we still have Tumblr. We still have Instagram. So follow us there.
Yeah, Evelyn had some ideas. She was like, you could definitely do updates, maybe fandom lore stuff, etc. Yeah, we will figure something out.
Mhm.
I mean, there's a million different national championships that happen between the months of
But will
December
people
and
be
January.
interested?
Because it
Yeah,
kind of determines
maybe.
who's going to like Euros and Worlds if they have mins.
I mean, I can make more drinks. That's fine. I can do that.
You can have like a range of different cocktails when we do nationals, like one
I
from
would
each
just
country.
Start doing cocktails during the live stream and drinking them.
Oh my
Just like,
god!
I mean,
Not
usually,
live though, because I've zoomed you and you've been making cocktails, and it is noisy.
oh, I would mute myself. Thank you.
Okay, good.
like
Just-
usually in terms of
it's-
like obviously like small federations are very small, but like in terms of like nationals, like usually it's like Japan, Russia, America, Canada, which are the big ones.
live streams with your drinks and making the drinks. Like a
I
class.
assume we will not be talking about Russian nationals this year.
No.
Oh, no.
Because we don't talk about Russia.
No, but Sarah and I,
Um,
we were sticking around last time. We were like, we should do Sarah and Ellie after dark. That's when the real tea happens.
So I just fade into the
Yeah, because you have to go.
You always
Yeah, also-
leave.
So I didn't drink any of this water.
Ah, but yeah, Sarah and I have a lot of things to talk about. If you're here for us, you should stick around. No, we're not releasing this.
That's not going
Yeah,
out.
the problem, Amy, with a Japanese nationals breakdown is it's almost impossible to watch.
Oh, because they're strict on copyright. But
strict
if
on
we can
copyright,
find
it's
enough
hard to get.
clips,
Yeah, it's like sometimes they get clips up like straight away and then they're taken down within the day. It is hard to get.
if you know someone that can like send us that stuff.
Also,
we'd be
like
up
time
for
wise,
it.
it's also incredibly difficult for us to watch.
Yeah, but we can watch it later.
But you
If
can watch it
somebody-
Yeah,
later.
that's the problem. It's like it's hard to do that.
That's why
somebody
I'm
can
saying
send
if
us a
she
link.
knows anyone. But yeah, Lois is just trying to get out on more stuff.
I just
Amy.
don't like the time zone.
It's not live. Amy. Shout out to the definitely above board streams.
I mean,
Yeah.
QQ is our best friend. We love QQ.
Yeah. Oh,
This is how I live my life.
so yeah.
Oh yeah, I was also
Of
going to
the-
mention. I forgot to mention it while we were discussing like small federations hosting Grand Prix. Apparently, there is a press release out in China today about them trying to find a host to host next year's Grand Prix.
Oh.
So
Ah.
we'll see if that materializes, because I think they did the same thing last year before it was then taken off them because they've got the COVID laws. I don't know if those are going to be relaxed.
Did we get the Cup of China one?
Yes.
Okay,
Espo
China, I'm
got
so
Russia.
sorry, but I'm rooting against you for this because I really want to have
You
another
want
Grand
Sheffield
Prix
back?
in the
We
UK.
would like to go to another Sheffield.
Yeah, it was so much fun.
Yeah, because we got China and Espo got Russia.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see what materializes of that if they manage. I think if the COVID laws are still strict, they will not allow them to do it.
Go
'Cause,
COVID.
Ellie.
Because I don't think the ISU likes the difficulties that come with that anymore. They've tried to like say if you've got an issue, we're not going to let you host stuff. They kind of did that
Yeah.
after like Canada did stuff last year.
We will see.
So yeah, we'll see what happens next year.
But I
yeah,
would
that was
like
just a
to
little interesting
also
talking point.
I'd like to also point out that I read a thing, or I heard someone say this. Sheffield, or like British ice skating, were approached to host Sheffield. I'm pretty sure I heard that. So
Interesting.
they were approached to host.
That
So
kind of doesn't surprise me in the way that Korea obviously declined in the summer.
mhm.
Because I think they wanted to have one in Asia because they like to have the two in Europe, two in Asia.
fully here for. I would love if Korea had a Grand Prix.
Yep, we really
Yeah.
wanted that. Italy obviously are doing the Grand Prix final, so they were not an option this year like they were last year.
Yeah.
And then you kind of run out of options. And then you what? Well, Germany don't have any money. Like,
to be fair,
Katarina
nor did
Witt-
we until last year.
Well, true, but Katarina Witt has had to like sponsor your national team outfits because they don't have any money.
But Robin Cousins has said that their goal is to get at World Championships before 2030. So I'm
Yeah.
hoping that someone in the organizing committees at the ISU is like rooting for this to happen and
Yeah.
might give us another shot at a Grand Prix. But yeah, in terms of like other streams and stuff, it would be really cool if we could cover some nationals. Obviously, there's like the big three, I guess, which is Canada, US, and Japan. I think that
Also,
would be fun.
even if we can't get a Grand Prix, give us a junior one.
Yes,
Give us a junior Grand Prix.
that
And
would be
make
very
it not
exhausting.
make it
to
not in
should start
Sheffield this time.
campaigning
Make
for
it like more south so we can get there more easily.
Let's start campaigning for it. Do it.
Listen,
Like, go near Sarah. That's a lot easier.
yeah, I'm not going to dox myself. We'll move on. I always said my local rink. I'm like, maybe not.
Yeah, don't not quite near where you know, Ash and Aswell.
Yeah, them. Let's have a junior Grand Prix there because they've hosted stuff. They filmed
Do
an
it not next year, but obviously next year's already been asked. Do it the year after when they can actually win one.
Yeah, and it's like a small enough rink that
You
yeah,
don't need
anyway,
many
we'll move on.
people to sit for a junior Grand Prix because not many people go.
And I wouldn't have to pay for a hotel. It's perfect.
Nope.
You could get a train up like this London. Anyway, we'll move on.
We'll
Yeah,
move on.
UK Worlds would be so good. But yeah,
I've
So
already
we
said
will-
goodbye. I've already
We will
said
love you and leave
this.
you. Goodbye. Thank you all for joining us.
thank you
This
so
is very
much for
long.
watching.
So much.
It's getting longer and longer every week.
We are so happy for everybody who's tuning in.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for talking.
Please subscribe.
Thank you so much. Bye bye. Have a nice week.
Bye.